Hey guys, it's Mary and welcome back to Study Journey. Welcome back to the Python series. This is episode 4 of the word game, and in this episode we're going to be going over the second part of the word game and also writing update hand. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Remember that this problem is split into two sections. The first one was to find the score, which we did in the previous few episodes. And the second problem right here is dealing with hands. And it tells us to read the problem to entirely before you begin coding because most of the functions have already been implemented. So the first one is representing hands, and it basically tells you how to represent a hand with a dictionary. And it tells you that a hand is just a set of letters held by a player during the game, and that the player starts off with a random set of letters, which is the hand. So in our program, a hand will be represented with a dictionary where the keys are the lowercase letters, and then the values that they hold are the number of times that the particular letter is repeated in that hand. So right here, for example, if this was our hand, then L has a value of 2, which means L has been in this hand twice. If we go to our folder of CS practice and open up the file that they gave us, which is ps3.py, we can scroll down. We can compare the instructions with the code that has already been given. So the next one is get frequency dictionary, which is defined right here. And it basically returns a dictionary where the keys are elements of the sequence and the values are integer counts for the number of times that an element is repeated in the sequence. So how many times the element or the letter has been repeated is going to tell you right here. And then displaying a hand, if we scroll down, displaying a hand, it says that it is just going to print out the hand. So for example, if you display hand and then you give it this dictionary, then it will print out something like this, which is just the letters and how many times in the letter form. And the next one is to generate a random hand. So it says that the hand a player is dealt with is a set of letters chosen at random. So we provide you with a function that generates this random hand and makes these letters random. And it is in deal hand, which is right here. And the next part is going to be removing letters from a hand, which we will actually implement. So I'm going to delete this part right here. Make sure these are all tabbed. And I'm going to copy it over to my code over here. So this is the folder that they gave us. This is the file that they gave us. And I'm just going to copy it over here to where we have it. So the first thing we had to do is that because our dictionary right here only contains lowercase words, we must ensure that the word that the user inputs is converted into lowercase letters before implemented. So before word is equal to word.lower. Now that we have this, before we update the hand, we want to make a copy of the original hand so we don't alter the original hand. This is because we will be using the original hand later on and we don't want the information to be messed up. So we can do this by saying new hand. This is going to be, our new hand is going to be hand.copy. And now we can alter new hand without touching the original hand. So to update the hand, we'll be subtracting the letter count by 1 if the letter has been used and keep it the same otherwise. So we can do this by using a for loop. So for every letter in the word, so for letter in word, if the letter is in the hand, then we have to determine whether or not the number of times the letter has appeared in the hand is greater than or equal to 1. If it is, then we subtract the count by 1. Remember that the count should never be negative, and this can be done with the .get function. So if the letter is in the hand, in the new hand, then let's retrieve its value. So if new hand .get the letter and then the default value, which is 0. If this, which is the value of this letter, or how many times it has appeared, if that is greater than or equal to 1, then we're going to subtract its count. So new hand so the value of this letter, we're going to subtract it by 1. New hand.get and then letter 0. So this is the value of our letter. And then we're going to subtract it by 1. So how many times it has appeared minus 1, that's going to be the new value of the letter. And then after this, we can just return the new hand. Okay, now let's save it, and we will do the rest in the next episode.